Sup guys, Stan Kosh here. Today I wanna talk with you about the Ainz team composition, why Ainz is so cool, so powerful and so important, and why you want to build a team even if you don't get those dimensionals from the start. So right, first the basics. Who do we have in the Ainz team composition? The main role here will be Ainz, of course, as a main damage dealer, carry and the guy who can destroy everything. By himself he might be a good hero, but he won't be able to pull off strong enemies. If you want Ainz team to shine, you want to add Albedo in it. I will explain why this mechanics works so well, why they have such good team combination, that synergy, but for now just make sure that Albedo is in your team. Then you want probably Arthur in the team. Usually you put Ainz in the back and Albedo will be either in the front if the enemies aren't that strong, if they are not one-shotting her, or somewhere in the back over here if she is being one-shotted. We want Albedo to be alive for a while. Arthur is really hard to kill, so he should be okay, and Ainz behind Arthur will get bonus from the Arthur's back defense. Other than that, you might want to include Merlin in your team, because Merlin will give you fantastic defense boost and moreover will give you the healing. So in the basic Ainz team it will look something like this. Merlin can be one-shotted because he will become the Owl and will be invincible for a while, so don't worry about him being one-shotted, so he doesn't need the defense spot behind the Arthur. And usually I leave the last 5th spot for someone who will give energy, but it's actually an open spot. If you want to take out strong enemy, you can even put someone like Nara here, so she will pull the enemy in and massacre him. You might put a Talene here for the same reason, to destroy one of the enemy backline who is really annoying and strong. You might put someone like Rowan here for the life regen, for healing, for energy bonuses. So it totally depends. It's a really flexible team like that, because you can put anyone here. Back in the day we used to put Talene in the front because she can be killed. You can use Awakened Talene here as well and put Albedo in the back, so she won't be killed that easily and will be protected by Arthur a little bit. Also there is a variation of using Ezio in the team. He can finish off the guys who Ainz haven't finished off, or maybe even Da Vinci if you have him fully maxed out, because Da Vinci can do pretty decent damage and help Ainz to do insane damage by using his ultimate and debuffing the enemies. So yes, as I said, the last spot is really flexible. You can use a lot of heroes. Prince of Persia will work as well for stuns. So yeah, a lot of options that might work for this spot. And it's up to you to decide who to put there. Even without that 5th spot, the team will work pretty well. Let's actually try to defeat those enemies without the 5th member of our team. I wonder how that will go. If Ainz will be able to release his ultimate, the enemies will be destroyed. So you see, you don't really need the full team for Ainz to prevail in the fight. And this is chapter 38, so that's not the early game. So okay guys, before moving on to explanation why Ainz is so good, based on the mechanics, I will show to the new players how you can get him. You can get him as a merc in the short-term mercenary, but that's not the best idea, because you will still need that guy as your own for Trials of God, for example, and other adventures. Like, that's the best team to go through all the adventures. So I advise you guys to use Garrison. So find a friend, maybe friend me, you know, Kosh over here, this is my ID. Friend someone and get him through the Garrison. Over time, he will be free for you. So, for your first Garrison hero, I advise going for Ainz and then Albedo. Those two guys together will help you to progress. So, like, I can't explain how strong it will be, but it will change your game altogether. That will help you to progress in so many game areas. So yeah, Ainz, then Albedo in the Garrison, and make sure to have them at your disposal at all times. So right, now let's go over Ainz himself, and I will explain you the main ideas about the hero. I won't go over all the skills, I will just cover the main things, because we have the Ainz breakdown already, I think. So yeah, first of all, this guy is really power hungry, it scales really well, so make sure to give him the most attack and critical as you can. So upgrading all his gear is really important. Focus on the gear that will give you attack rating, strengthen it to the maximum as much as you can, and you will not regret it, because Ainz is really good, so it's worth it to go for that. Signature item is really important for Ainz as well. Without it, he is not that good because it allows him to use his ultimate without the chanting, so he will instantly release it, and plus 10 and plus 20 levels will make it 2 and 3 times used, so it's important as well. But plus 30 will boost its damage by 30%, so it's really important to get it to level 30. Higher than that, I don't recommend it unless you are whale, because it will be extremely expensive. Usually the best artifact for Ainz is Windbinder, because that will allow him to use ultimate earlier. If you don't have that, well, you should, but if you don't, you can go for Eye or the Call, so he will get that stuff earlier. The goal of Ainz to release ultimate as soon as possible. And what makes Ainz really strong is combination of his steady preparation that will boost his attack and defense throughout the beginning of the fight, his crazy ultimate that does insane amount of damage, guys. And the goal of all life is death. And this skill, by default, without the furniture, after 24 seconds of the battle, will take 55% of the current health of the enemies and stun them for 4 seconds. So, if you want to max out your Ainz performance, you want that skill, you want to have the full furniture that will allow that skill to take effect after 15 seconds into the battle. And then in the fight you might want to time it manually, so you turn off auto, you wait before that thing will kick in, and only after that use Ainz ultimate. So he can use it right now, but after 15 seconds, if he will survive, the enemies will get that hit and then the ultimate will finish them off, so you can defeat stronger enemies like that. And your priority in that situation to keep Ainz alive for as long as possible, so he will be able to do that combo. That usually takes out like 99% of the enemies, unless you are in a really high deficit area. As for the engravings for Ainz, I would recommend going for all 60, maybe. No, a little bit higher is too expensive, but 60 will be a good benchmark for you. You will get all the important skill upgrades, you will get a lot of power from the engraving, 16% attack, and you know, all the good skills. So yeah, don't worry about that. Max him out to 60 and you won't regret it. That will be your one of the best carries. Now, Ainz by himself doesn't really work that well without the Albedo. Why do we want Albedo in our team? She have the key feature that makes Ainz really strong, and that is her signature item. By default, unless upgraded, that will increase the defense rating of all your dimensional heroes by 15% for each dimensional hero that is in the allied formation. And it can stack up to 2 times, but when you level it up to plus 30, which is essential, like this is more important than making the Ainz signature item to the max. Keep it in mind. That will allow you to have this effect multiplied by 3 times, but like you need 3-dimensional heroes on the battlefield to make it fully work. And at plus 30, you will get plus 25 defense for every dimensional and plus 15% attack for every dimensional in your formation, for all your dimensionals. So Albedo makes your dimensional team really insanely overpowered. If you have 3 heroes, that's already 75% defense. What? 75% defense? Yeah, bonus. And 45% attack rating right here, which is pretty cool. So that's one of the main things about Albedo, and the most important one. You don't want her to die, you want her to be alive, so make sure that she's healthy enough not to be one-shotted, because, you know, she have other uses other than this buff. There are some cool skills here that will allow her to, you know, protect your allies, attack enemies, convert it to the shield to self-sustain, but that's not the main thing. First important thing, not the most important thing, Hermes Trismegistus. If Albedo will crit an enemy, their attack rating will be reduced by 50%, and if you have her at plus 60, that will be 70% attack reduction, which is really cool, but you don't really need that much. And another one is Blackguard. Now this one is the most important. Basically this skill allows you to use the barricade ability to protect the hero in the back by getting the shield and taking the damage instead of that ally. Moreover, the ally and Albedo cannot be crowd controlled during the duration of the shield, and she will prioritize Ainz all gone if he is an ally. So basically she will teleport back and protect him from being one-shotted or being attacked or taking damage, and that will allow her to be one of the bodyguards of Ainz. So you can have Albedo protecting your Ainz with yourself by the skill, not by using the artifact. You can put barricade artifact on her as well, that will allow her to do another protection jump using the barricade, and the barricade will allow her to do that every 15 seconds, and you don't really need that much of furniture or engravings for Albedo to be useful, because engravings will allow her shield lore to be better. That's not incredibly useful, like that doesn't change that much, and the plus 60 will allow that skill to lower enemy attack rate by 70% instead of 50, so that's a higher reduction, but it's not game breaking. You can play with her even without any engravings, and the furniture will just increase her survivability a little bit, but that survivability bonus will allow her to take damage for longer, so 3 furniture will be recommended for her. So right, Arthur. He is not really essential in your team, so for Ainz team you need only 2 heroes, Ainz and Albedo, that's the core. After that you can fit any dimensional as its 3rd spot. You can make full 5-team dimensional team or use other faction heroes, it's up to you. But why Ainz is a good bonus for your team? Because first of all he's dimensional, and second he have a really good skill set that will complement the team pretty well. Main thing is Shield of Honor. When he will take a phase on attack, he will get 70% less damage to him, so that's already like 70% damage reduction. He's really hard to kill. Back in the day when I took a first look at the Arthur, I really didn't recommend him as a pay-to-win hero, but if you can get him from the store, that's a totally different story, he's definitely worth it. Engraving 60's bonus will make it even better, but it's not really necessary. You can play with Arthur even with E30 and even without engraving at all, so overall you don't really need engraving to make him useful. Another important thing for Arthur is his signature item. By default it increases the attack rating of normal attacks, but as you unlock the next tiers of this signature item, first of all, that will allow allies standing behind Arthur to increase their critical rating by 30%, so that will buff Ainz critical rating by 30%, and that boosts his damage so much. And at plus 30, when there are 2 or more allied allies on the battlefield, Arthur becomes immune to control effects and recover 50% of his max health every second. And now this is really good, that makes him really hard to kill in combination with his furniture. His furniture bonus will allow him, after using the ultimate, to prevent one of his allies, including himself, from taking fatal damage, and then they will get, like, the hero who is supposed to be killed will get the shield that will last for 5 seconds on 3 pieces, and that shield will offset 35% of his max health as a shield. So that will prevent killing blow on one of your allies, and that might save Ainz or any of your guys from being one-shotted, and that will prevent your Ainz to have more time to release his ultimate, or maybe wait for the goal of all life is death. At 9 pieces that shield will last for 10 seconds and offset more damage, so getting him to 3 pieces is extremely important. 9 pieces will allow him to be a little bit tougher, that will give him a better ability, that skill will be better, but important thing that will give him stats as well, so Arthur will be even tankier after that. As for the engravings for him, once again it's not necessary, but that will give him additional stats, and as a tank he can use that in order to be tougher. Now currently the 4th member of the team that's almost permanently set in is Merlin. Why Merlin is a good bonus for the team? First of all, his ultimate Destiny Foreseen, together with the full furniture set, 9 pieces, will be used by default at the start of the fight. So at 9 pieces Merlin can immediately use the skill when he enters the battlefield. The duration is extended by 50%. So what do we have? We have the skill that lowers the damage received by your allies by 35%. And if it's at the start of the fight, that's insanely powerful. And moreover, if the enemy who is in, on the opposite position from Merlin will use the ultimate ability, all your allies will get the shield with 100% of their own max health, which exists for 5 seconds, and that shield prevents control effects and cannot be dispelled. So that skill by default at the start of the fight will make your team so much tougher, so more resistant for one-shots and everything. So that's a really good start. Moreover, Merlin cannot be one-shotted. Guardian ult here. When Merlin suffers a fatal damage for the first time, he enters the spirit form of the ult and blah blah blah, recover health, all that. So he can be one-shotted. That's already pretty cool for one of your heroes, right? Moreover, Karmic Law will allow him to resist crowd control effects and put that crowd control effect on the enemy who cast it. So that will prevent enemies from doing crowd control too much. Moreover, Magical Amelioration will allow you, well, Merlin and 2 of his allies, if you have the signature item fully built up, to heal 6% of max health per second. That's healing, that's based on the max health. That's really cool for 8 seconds. And since we're talking about the signature item, 30% of the damage dealt by the protected allied hero is converted into health for both Merlin and the allied target at the same time. So that's a really good combination of the skills from all the heroes, and if they work together, that will be insanely good. Plus 30, of course, that magic amelioration will work for 2 allies, and the health he is losing from that skill will be lowered. So that's really nice. So guys, yeah, this team together works really well. It do wonders. It destroys everyone. I haven't seen any enemy team that can oppose Ainz team. Like, another really cool team is Lucretia team, Lucretia 5 pool or something. But I think Ainz team, if Albedo is in, is already way more overpowered than Lucretia. I mean, if you play manually with Ainz and use it ultimate at the proper time, I'm pretty sure most of the enemies will be destroyed, and unless you are a whale who have everyone leveled up, that team will be way cheaper than building any Celestial Hyper-GN team. So yeah guys, short summary. Ainz is really good, you need Ainz and Albedo in order for this team to work. Ainz isn't that easy to kill, but he's pretty fragile, pretty glass cannon. Albedo will help with that a little bit and buff his defense and damage. If you put Arthur in the team, he's a pretty tough tank, so he can protect Ainz for a while. Then if you put Merlin in, he will also buff your team with the proper damage reduction and heal, so that's already a pretty fantastic team. For the 5th spot, you might put Vinci, for example. He will buff your team, he will do good damage, and he will increase enemies' damage taken as well, so that's one of the options. Prince of Persia, another good option for the stuns. You can even use someone like Tessie here for the crowd control. You can use, where is he? Rowan in your team in order to make Ainz release his ultimate earlier. You can use Rosalind and put her on follow on Ainz. That will allow Ainz to use more ultimates, so that's basically almost 2 ultimates in a row. So it's up to you to decide how to use this team, but overall, for starters, this team will be really good by itself, even without the 5th member in the team. And yeah guys, I want to hear your thoughts on this team in the comments, and did I miss something? I might have missed something, so write it over there as well, so viewers can go there and read comments and learn something new. While you go into the comments, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends and guildies, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell button so you won't miss any new videos, and check the pinned comment in the video description for the links. We have the Discord link over there that will allow you to join Discord and talk with us, and a lot of other things. There are playlists for hero breakdowns, more guides, and everything that you might find useful. So yeah guys, thank you very much for watching. That's about it for now. Stand Kosh out. Have a good one, enjoy your Ainz, that's a good stuff to get. Bye.